with Intention, podcast where we bring you stories from around the globe. Hello and welcome back once again to Rise and Thrive Mornings with Intention. And I am super excited to have yet another wonderful guest with us, Dr. Flory. Welcome, Dr. Flory. How are you today?
Thank you. I'm well. How about you?
I am very good. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm really excited. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from, where you currently reside.
I am in California, in Northern California and Sacramento area. I've been here for about 35 years.
That's amazing. Where are you coming from? Tell us.
I was born and raised in Romania, in Bucharest, Romania. And I came to the United States as a political refugee in 1985.
Okay. Wow. I came from Europe as well. Now in Canada at the moment. I've been here quite a few years, more like over 3 decades. So it's a big step to move from one area of the globe to another. How was that transition for you?
It was a pretty difficult transition. My husband and I were not allowed to go to higher education because of our family's political views. So we married in secret when I was 18. And then 2 weeks later, he escaped and he was in a refugee camp until he got a political asylum from the United States. And a year and a half later, through intervention of United Nations, they allowed me to leave too. So
Wow.
it wasn't pleasant, but we did what we wanted to. We accomplished what we wanted to accomplish by this without him being arrested or even killed trying to escape. So we were extremely fortunate. And
Yeah.
then we came here and we made a life for ourselves.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is something, powerful you had to go through. So I'm glad you're here today, and my heart goes out to you for everything you had to go through. So now you are a doctor. So can you share your journey from transitioning from a primary school teacher in Romania to becoming a doctor of acupuncture and Oriental medicine? What motivates you to do that
So
shift?
my grandmother was a medicine woman in a little town in the middle of nowhere in Romania. It was illegal to do what she was doing because traditional medicines weren't allowed to be practiced there. Uh, Even though she taught me as much as she could about herbs and using foods as medicine and how to do energetic balancing of the body. And then when I came here, it was survival. It was impossible for me to follow that, but I always had it in my heart. And when I was finally stable enough and our lives allowed us to go to school, I went and studied acupuncture and Oriental medicine in Los Angeles. I'm very fortunate to have a husband that's very understanding. And when I said, we're going to go to Los Angeles and do this, he said, okay. So when I studied at Yosan University in Los Angeles, which is a school led by the 38th generation of traditional Chinese doctors. So for 4 years, I studied with them, and it was just unbelievable. The similarities between the cultural and traditional medicines from what I learned from my grandmother and from what they were talking about, the similarities are incredible, even though they're from worlds apart. So it was the closest to what I learned from my grandmother. And after that, after the 4 years and getting my master at Yosan University, I studied for 2 years with a Japanese master. And a few years later, I went and I actually got a doctoral degree from another university, a clinical doctorate degree, specializing in women's health and pain management.
Wow. That's amazing. So reading a little bit about your background, you specialize in fertility issues. So tell me, how do you support women in that kind of practice? Like, what is it that you can help with?
So, for about 10 years, I had a private clinic where I treated a lot of women with fertility issues very successfully. A lot of them ended up having successful pregnancies and even several sets of twins. So, what I'm doing now is I'm taking all that knowledge and experience and guiding women through fertility issues. What I realize is that there is so much stress put on women, so many demands, especially young women, to have children these days. It's family, it's society, friends that put a lot of pressure on them. And then they start looking into it. They start all kinds of treatments that are even more stressful on the body. Um, um, Hormonal treatments to prepare the body, even for IVF or regular fertility treatments, are extremely hard on the body. So I see these women under a lot of stress and a lot of demands, and that stress is actually creating a bigger problem, a bigger fertility problem in the body. So what I do is I implement I have three pillars, if you may, of my program. I help the mind through mindfulness exercises and meditation and guided visualizations. I help the body through QiGong and Tai Chi, and Tui-Na Massage and acupressure points, things that women can take care of their own bodies, like self-care. And then the third is I'm teaching food and herbal energetics, which are different from regular nutrition that we learn in the Western culture, by analyzing how the foods react once they're in the body. Do they create heat? Do they create cold? Do they create dryness or humidify the body? So taking that into consideration and custom making their nutrition to their own body's needs.
Yeah, it's so funny you're talking about that because I was reading not too long ago about this kind of things too. And there's so much wisdom, and it's like you could kind of say it's swept under the rug. A lot of people don't know about this, the hot and the cold, about the body, and the foods that they play, because it depends also where in the world you live. You should eat foods that are um in line with your body as much as the place where you're living, because what will work here as eating, for example, nuts will not so much work as for somebody who's in another part of the world eating the same thing, though they're supposed to be good for you. That I was reading the connection in some ancient books too, because I love reading stuff, and I came across that too, and it's very, very very true. And I like to go back to the ancient techniques and healing of the body as well. Like, on and off, I've always been sick. I grew up with chronic headaches and then kidney stones and things like that. So the body goes through a lot of stress. And then now you're talking about fertility, and I hear from number of people and the expectations the family has on them when they, want to have children. And when they have the boy, they're like, why didn't you have the girl? And you hear these things all the time. And the women I've talked to, they feel it. It's so true, and
That's
well,
where I'm coming from.
yeah,
There are doctors that treat them hormonally or with injections or whatever they need, vitamins and things like that. And then you have the IVF treatments. Same thing, their bodies go through a lot. So
yeah.
they don't need that anymore. What they need is someone to be there for them, someone to listen to them, someone to take them by the hand and say, hey, everything is going to be okay. These are little things that you could do every day for yourself, nothing major. You don't have to go into retreats, and you don't have to go into programs that will require you to spend hours a day. 5 minutes a day, little simple mindfulness exercises that you can do, journaling, guided imagery. I offer all this so they have something to connect to every day, some little pace that is quiet and comforting, and they can be themselves. They don't have to worry about who's asking me what, or what are they demanding of me, or what they want from me, or what they want me to which way they want me to perform. There's nothing like that. They need that well, they want to be mothers, and that's that caring that a mother gives a child. Believe it or not, that's exactly what a woman going through fertility issue needs.
Hmm.
Someone to give them that comforting space and
Yes.
safe space. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I want to go back a little bit to talking about the energetic food and health nutrition. Can you tell us a little bit more about this? How can women use this knowledge to enhance their health and fertility? Can you go a little bit deeper into this?
So let me give you a little example for a lot of women when they start hormonal treatments, they start having nausea, even vomiting. And one of the herbs that is exceptional for this is ginger.
Mm.
Ginger can be used in cooking, like shredded and put in stews or soups, or as tea. You can make ginger tea from fresh ginger. Just steam it for about 15 minutes and then sip it throughout the day. And what it does is it warms up the inside, and it redirects the stomach's energy downward. What happens is a lot of us, especially here in California, I see everybody drinking everything with ice. And I cringe because what ice does, or ice water, or ice drinks, or ice cream for that matter, once in the body, they congeal everything, including the energy. So you cannot digest anything until the body takes a lot of energy, brings it to the stomach, and that's warming up that ice cold drink or food in order to be digested. So a lot of women, not only women, actually, everybody, when they're drinking soda, ice soda, with their meal, they're actually preventing their body from digesting their foods. So and they end up being tired and fatigued after eating. And part of it is that body's energy being taken to the stomach to warm up those foods so they are being digested. And plus, it takes a lot longer, not only energetically but time-wise. The food sits in the stomach, creating heartburn, indigestion, things like that, only because of the cold introduction into the digestive system.
Mhm.
So ginger, not only warming up because its quality is to warm up, but putting it in a tea form and sipping it instead of ice water or ice drinks with your meal, it's really beneficial.
Okay. And alternative to ginger, if somebody can't take ginger, is there any backups?
Well, any kind of tea, it's beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
There are um, the Chinese recommend that you have either warm water or warm tea with your meals.
Mm-hmm.
Psyllium, it's one of the herbs that's really beneficial and calming and soothing. Chamomile. Um, in my household, we have a lot of milk thistle
Oh
that
yes. Yeah.
we drink milk thistle tea because it's supporting the liver system, which again, it's part of the digestive system. It's the best detoxifier because it supports liver function, and the liver is the body's detoxifier. So
Yes. Um, it's amazing. And speaking of health, I actually every now and then, maybe I should do it more often. I'm actually going through a body detox at the moment too, and especially for the liver too. And you can definitely feel the difference once you go through the detox. It's really good for the body. I want to go back a little bit to your images and visualization in your sessions. What kind of outcomes have you seen from your patients? What was like the number one thing you saw that did it revive them? What do you expect from those sessions?
So some of the guided visualization exercises that I do are focusing on the uterus, on the womb. It's amazing to see how, being so pulled in all directions, a woman that's trying to conceive doesn't even pay attention to their female organs. So these guided visualizations are giving them the power to focus on their female organs. Now, there's a saying in Chinese medicine, where the mind goes, the energy flows. So a lot of fertility problems are very minor, actually. They have to do with the energy not moving in that area and the blood not moving properly in that area. And you'll know right away because the woman complains about painful periods, or scanty or too profound periods. So that tells us, as professionals, that something is going on as far as energy movement in that area. So these guided visualizations teach women how to focus on their internal organs, and also energetically, by rubbing their hands and making them until they get warm, and then putting them on their lower abdomen. They bring their mind, they bring their consciousness to that area, which is the most important for fertility. This technique is warming and is focusing the mind in that area. So they're very
Wow.
beneficial.
I love that. I really love it how you described it. So being a professional, what insights have you gained from supporting women through their fertility journeys that you believe are vital for others to know? Like, what would be like the thing you want to like tell people right now? What's the most important thing?
To forgive yourself for whatever decisions you made in the past, and forgive those that did you wrong, because keeping your mind in the past prevents you from being present and helping yourself to achieve what you put your mind to. It's not only working for fertility, it's actually working for anything that you're trying to accomplish. We are so wrapped up in our experiences, which I'm grateful for, and we should be grateful for, because our experiences made us who we are today. At the same time, being able to face them and forgive those people, including especially yourself, and allowing them to be in the past, to be part of the past, then you could focus to the present and pay attention to your body and pay attention to your food and pay attention to your exercise and love yourself. That is the most important. And at the same time, allow the future to be the future. Don't try to control it. Don't be afraid of what's going to happen. Focus in the present and do, because you cannot change the future unless you focus and change something in the present. So that, to me, that is the most important.
And I absolutely love that. That was said very well. I completely agree. And yes, exactly. You can use that in any area of your life, of course. Is there anything you offer that people can reach out to you? I know, of course, in this video, we will post how to get in touch with you, again, who you are, what you do, and all the contact information is there. But what do you offer for our listeners here?
So not everybody, my program is not, my coaching program is not for everybody. Not everybody sees things the way that I do. So what I offer is, it's a first time consultation, 30-minute consultation for free for anybody that wants to find out more about the program. And they can get in touch with me at my email that you'll be posting on the site. So
Awesome. Yes, because you have lots of expertise in the herbal medicines. Now, if you're a woman out there looking for fertility insights, here's Dr. Flory for you. But again, we are here to help you. Whether you just need a listening ear, we are there for you. So even though it's geared towards specific things, we can also branch out to herbal medicine, coaching, just being there
absolutely.
for you. Exactly. So, thank you so much, Dr. Flory, for being here with us today. So the podcast name is Rise and Thrive Mornings with Intention. So tell us, how important is it, do you think, to set intention in the morning for the rest of the day and also add health and wellness into it?
Um, you start your day in the morning. So absolutely thinking those few minutes that you take to think how you want your day to develop, what you're trying to accomplish throughout the day. The best time it's in the morning when you're fresh, when you're ready to go. So I think it's really important.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, listeners, for being with us here today. Thank you so
Thank you.
much, Dr. Flory. It was a pleasure to have you here. Any last words of wisdom you want to add?
Yeah, be present, stay present.
Awesome.
Thank
Well,
you for having me.
thank you so much once again. And everybody, I hope you have a wonderful day and see you guys soon again. Take care. Thank you.
Bye.